Hey guys, so here bringing you another video. Now welcome to the question and answer video for October. I tend to do these every single month, as when I was first starting League or YouTube or university or anything like that, there's not a lot of places you actually can ask questions, and I thought, you know, I'm in a position now that I'm fairly knowledgeable in a few areas, so I would give you guys the option to ask. So just to remind you, this is not a gameplay video of any kind. This is a video that, sure, you can stay and watch the whole thing, or you can just minimize the video and just listen to it, as I will be reading out the questions that I'm answering. I will have them displayed below, like here. But yeah, you can minimize the video and that's completely fine. If you want to go practice your last hitting, if you want to play solo queue, if you want to go play the new Star Wars Battlefront beta, while watching this, that is completely up to you. Just to quickly say, before we get into the questions, I'm recording this before Worlds on Thursday. I'll probably release this tonight, and then I'm going to try and record like 3 episodes of Unranked to Diamond tomorrow, just so I have 3 episodes ready to upload. So yeah, maybe I'll upload again one of them on the weekend. Normally I don't upload on Saturday or Sunday, but I think I will, or maybe I will start to do that, as if I have them already prepared, then I may as well. Anyway, let's get into it. So, the way that this works is that yesterday I uploaded a video asking for questions, and as a fair warning, this video could go very long, as I feel actually guilty when I don't answer all the questions. So yeah, I'm going to try my best to answer all of them. If it does go for an hour, which I doubt it, but if it does, then yeah, don't feel that you need to kind of watch it in one sitting. Maybe watch half of it and then watch half another time, and yeah, there you go. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so the first question is a question I get a lot on the Unranked to Diamond videos, and I wanted to just get this first straight out the bat, and then yeah, that will be that question done. Can I start my Unranked series from bronze? No. No is the very simple answer, but there's more details behind that. So the first reason why it's a no is that I legally cannot get a bronze account. The ways of getting a bronze account as a diamond smurf or a diamond player is the following. I buy it, I get given it, or I purposely throw games to get bronze, which I am not going to do any of those things. I am somebody that follows the rules of League of Legends, and I even know that Rioters watch these videos. So if you're a Rioter, hi, I know you're watching. Because, you know, I'm friends with several Rioters, so I'm not going to do it. There's no point in doing it to just break the rules to do a YouTube series. That is pointless. But the second reason is that, again, the series would probably be boring as hell. It started in Unranked, and I got fed pretty much quite a lot in the early stages of the series. It was very early, and what you actually have to kind of think is Unranked, when you first start playing Ranked, that is actually higher rating than Bronze. And yeah, if you're a Bronze player like, whoa, really? Yeah, you start Ranked about Silver 4 MMR, and if you're Bronze, that means you actually have gone down since you were Unranked. So it would be boring. It would basically just add more games on the series for no reason. Just remember the quote that I say quite a lot when people ask me this, is the lower rating it is, the easier it is to climb, the easier it is to carry. There is no question that that is a true statement. And yeah, if you are in Bronze, I do sympathise for you guys, but you probably belong in Bronze unless you improve a lot. So yeah, there's the first question out of the way. Next question is, it's just a thought of my Jack's video. Do I think it's worth having junglers that use Devourer just because it works well with Kayle, Teemo, don't do Teemo jungler, Gnar, Vayne, don't do Vayne jungle, and now Xin, Jax, etc. Do I think it's good to have these on your team or just stick with standard junglers? I'm not a Devourer fan. I think it makes the game stupidly boring. You know, I main jungle for a long time, and I played junglers that gank. So I played junglers that made an impact on the game throughout the game, not just at the end. So yeah, my opinion on it is, if you want to go up in rating and you're a jungler, you're not going to be really helping your team in, you know, the first 20 minutes if you're stacking your Devourer, because, you know, they could get behind and you're like, nope, I have to stack my stuff, I'm not ganking. To me, that's a really weak way of going up in rating. And again, some of the mentions here, never do Teemo jungle. Like, I would say don't play Teemo, but yeah, Teemo is a top laner at best. Vayne jungle, again, the weird thing for me one thing I want to point out, the people that always complain that, oh, I'm in this rating, I need to be this rating, or I deserve that rating, I sometimes ask these people, what do they play? What is their champion pool? They have stupid picks all over the place, like Vayne Jungle or Teemo Jungle. It's like, well, there's your problem right there. You're playing, like, inviable stuff. Like, just play more standard stuff that you're good at, and the game is a lot easier. Like, the meta is there for a reason. It's the strongest way of playing the game right now. Make use of that. Okay, next question is, when choosing hybrid champions, is it generally better to focus either on AP or AD based on the opposite team comp, or more cost effective to build hybrid? It depends the champion. Like, you're using Evelynn here. Evelynn, I wouldn't really class Evelynn as a hybrid as much as she is either AD or she is either AP. And that is pretty much most hybrid champions, honestly. There is very little crossover in terms of, oh, I'll build Bork and Riley. Like, that doesn't really happen on anything at the moment, I don't think. You know, the biggest crossover that you get is like the Gunblade item. It has both stats on the same item. You don't go separate paths on one character. So I'd say if you're playing a hybrid champion, so Akali, Katarina, Jax, Kayle, Evelynn, focus on one of them. Focus on, okay, I'm playing AP Kayle, or I'm playing AD Kayle. Like, going both of them will probably just make you have a weaker build, other than just going for one of the paths, in my opinion. Next question is, if you had bad MMR last season, is that carried over to the next season? No. Basically, if this is your first season of Ranked, basically they do what is called a soft MMR reset. So yeah, it gets rid of your bad MMR, but it still takes into account what rating you were. So say you're bronze, don't think you can just suddenly become gold instantly next season because you was bronze last season. So what they do generally is a diamond player will probably be taken down to platinum. A platinum player will be taken down to gold. A silver player will be taken down to, well, silver or bronze, a gold to silver. They kind of just take everybody down a whole tier. Ish. It does flex a little bit, but that's kind of what they do. And then obviously your placement games, they have a big impact on what you're going to be in the season. But no, your MMR does not keep. Your rating has an influence, but the MMR, yeah, you get a fresh slate. If you had terrible MMR, you can now join the next season and hopefully do a lot better. Next question is, how do you deal with AFK trolls? Is there anything Riot can do to stop you being trapped in a game for 20 minutes with almost guaranteed loss? They're always going to exist. There's always idiots on the internet, let's face it. Any game you go in, you know, I've been playing CSGO recently. You have people shouting down the microphone 24/7 that are terrible at the game. It's in every single game community. It sucks even more in League of Legends because, yes, there is a massive punishment for leaving games. And there's no system around, you know, okay, this guy's just trolling. There's no point playing the game. I myself will never AFK because I think that's stupid. But basically what Riot need to do, in my opinion, is have like some system of detection or a vote kick system. But you have to remember, like, when there's a vote kick system, like if 4 people have to vote one person out, it always can get abused. If they just don't like I'm a big meta person, I'll be honest. Like, I always play champions that are relatively in the meta. But say there are people out there that do non-meta picks successfully. I'm subject to this. Like, if I see a Teemo top lane, I'm like, oh, I got a Teemo. And then if I had the option to vote kick that person out, let's be honest, everybody probably would. Nobody really wants to play with a Teemo top lane or something like that because it's just a hassle. So it always would get abused. So I'm not entirely sure what Riot can do. I just say they have to keep improving the report system, the intentional feeder detection system. As I have noticed since the latest patch, there are less rages, there are less AFKers, there are less trolls because they have a whole new ban system in place, and I think it might be working. So yeah, just ban more of the trolls, and that is probably the only thing we can do. Next one is a very basic one. How am I? I'm good. I'm stressed. You know, university is a very busy time of my life in general, but especially at the start of university when you've got to kind of plan all the assignments. I have 4 assignments in by like Christmas time or something like that. So it's a lot of work, a lot of stress, but I thrive under stress. My family tends to do that, you know. If things are going chill and like smooth, I'm like, something's going to happen. I prefer something does happen, something that is stressful, and then I can deal with it. So I'm fine. You know, I'm still working out the kinks behind, you know, when to do university work, when to do the YouTube stuff, when to do like other stuff other than this. You know, I'm a human being. I do other things than YouTube and university. So it's like, it's trying to work out all of that stuff. But other than that, I'm really good. So yeah, thanks for asking. So my next one is, what is my personality type? And if you have no idea what a personality type is, basically it's what I'd say businesses like to define their employees as. Like, some businesses out there make people take this test when they begin working, and so they can put them in the correct department or put them with the correct team. I have taken this test, and I am known as a debater. With, I think, a commander very closely followed. But me being mainly a debater basically means I love intellectual challenges and I like challenging people's thoughts. And I like giving my own thoughts, but always with facts behind them, generally. Which I think is pretty damn true. You know, some of these tests are kind of rubbish, but I think for me, anyway, it's worked quite well. You know, I'm somebody that if you try to have an argument with me, and if I know my point is correct, I will most likely bombard you with facts, and you cannot argue with the facts. So I love intellectual challenges. I like debating in general. I've got a module this term, actually, in university that is all about debating, and I'm loving it. Used to be part of a debate team. But yeah, I love the feeling, you know, yes, I used to do boxing, I used to do rugby, football, and yeah, you beat someone physically. That used to feel great, but nothing feels better than, to me anyway, than beating somebody intelligently, mentally, because you've just beaten them. There's nothing that they can do. You're like, checkmate. So yeah, I'm a debater, and as I said, a commander followed very closely behind, which a commander basically is a leader that is very bold and very decisive. And yeah, I'm always the project manager with university groups. I used to be the football team captain for 4 years, so that also kind of fits me too. Do I think AD carries are in a bad spot right now? If yes, what could Riot do to buff them? No, they're not in a bad spot at all. I don't get why people have said this. You look at Worlds, AD carries are doing amazing. Like, yes, it's a very annoying as an AD carry to deal with that Olaf running at you, to deal with that Darius running at you. But I guarantee most solo queue games finish with the damage done. The AD carry will have the most damage done. And just because your role, I presume you main AD carry if you're saying it's a hard position right now, just because your role gets harder doesn't necessarily mean it's in a bad spot. Riot has made this game very easy compared to what it was like in Season 1. So it's good if occasionally things are hard. You know, just because, oh, it's annoying to deal with these bruises as an AD carry, that's not a bad thing. So, yeah, I think ADs are in a good spot. I've been playing more AD carry myself, and I'm generally doing very well. So, yeah, I think it's good. So the next question is, I briefly touched on it earlier, but it's an actual question, like, focusing on it. What do I think about people who play out-of-meta roles, example AD Malzahar? Do you think that they shouldn't be playing like that? Yeah, honestly. As I say, the meta exists for a reason, and I understand that there are two types of people. There are people that are like, I just don't like playing this stuff in the meta, I don't find it fun. If that's you, fair enough. But there are some people out there, for some reason, that are just completely against the meta, no matter what it is. Like, they could be playing, let's say, Darius, right? Before Darius was popular, they played Darius. Then suddenly Darius becomes meta, and they're like, nope, I'm not playing Darius anymore because it's too generic. I don't get these type of people, because, like, sure, if you just don't enjoy the champions that are currently in the meta, that's fine. But if you're purposely changing your champion pool so your champions are not meta at all, you're just hurting yourself more. But yeah, I do not like when people do these. I'd actually call them troll picks. Because that's kind of what they are, you know. An AD Malzahar, your example, I don't exactly know why you're giving that example specifically. It has been played in LCS before, so if someone is going to come to me, but Snoopy played it in LCS. I am aware of that. From memory, it didn't even do very well. But you're making all I'd say is you're making the game harder for yourself and your team. To me, that's weird. You know, everybody wants to be higher rated, so don't make it harder for yourself. Play the stronger champions, and you'll go up. It's that simple. Next question is, do you think it was easier to acquire high ELO in the past as opposed to now? It's a good question. I presume this question is kind of focused, you know, I used to be Diamond 1 in Season 3, and now, you know, I'm mid-Diamond now. There's yes and no's in this. It's not a straight cut answer. I'd say the rating system now is the easiest it's ever been in terms of having these divisions and having... The promotion series can be annoying, but yeah, it's still easier than it's ever been. The game itself, gameplay-wise, again, is fairly easy. Riot do a lot to make the game easy. You know, Dragon Timers, Baron Timers, all that stuff never used to be a thing. And that kind of gives you more teamwork compared to what you used to have in solo queue. The pings, you know, the ping I'm on my way, that never used to exist. So there are things in the game now that make the game a lot easier than it used to be. But the thing about, you know, every single year, so if you took the Season 1 Fnatic who won World Championship, if you took their skill level and put them against the current Fnatic, it would be a complete stomp to the current Fnatic. Like, they would just completely obliterate Season 1. The reason for that is because the more people play, the more the community plays, the general skill level of the game goes up. That's the same with any game. That could be CSGO, that could be Halo. Doesn't matter. The longer the community plays, the skill level goes up and up and up and up. You know, the average player is pretty much like Silver 3 at the moment. If you took a Silver 3 player from Season 1 and you take a Silver 3 player now, the Silver 3 player now would beat the Silver 3 player 1 because it's just experience, it's learning. You have a lot more learning resources out there now on the internet. Hell, you're watching one now. You know, the game is easier now, but the skill level has gone up. So it's like a yes and a no thing. If you use me as an example myself, I probably could get Diamond 1 again. I'm fairly competent that if I got my champion pool down into champions that I know I'm very strong with and I just play these champions over and over again, I'm saying like 2 or 3 of them per role, yeah, I could probably get Diamond 1 again. But I just do not have the time to commit to do that. You know, I've got university, I've got YouTube, Twitch, and then trying to like do other things in my life and then try to get Diamond 1. I just don't have the time to give. Back in Season 3, I did. So yeah, it's pretty much that simple. Next one is, do I think I can make it before, or do I think I can make it to Diamond before the season ends on the Smurf account, and any tips on getting to Diamond from Platinum 2? Do I think I can get to Diamond? Yeah, fairly easily, if I actually have the time to do it, like I just said in the last question. So I always say hindsight is a wonderful thing, but when I was off during the summer, I really should have played more on that account. Which is, yeah, it's left me in kind of, I've got a gap to go, I've got a month to do it. But if I do manage to play, you know, I think it's going to take me about another 30 games maybe 20, depending our win streak really, or to get Diamond. You know, if we go on a massive win streak of like 10 wins in a row, that will probably make us like Plat 1. Because I still believe that hopefully our MMR is high enough that when I go into promotion series now, I'll go straight to Platinum 3, and hopefully I go Platinum 3 to Platinum 1 and then to Diamond. But I have to play more. There's no if, buts, or maybes. You know, yes, I can get Diamond. I've done it 4 times already, but I have to play more. And I've kind of thought about this for a while now. You know, I'm going to record hopefully 3 episodes tomorrow. But, you know, I might just start, like, usually I don't like sitting on footage. I like recording it and then uploading it. But, you know, I might have to start sitting on footage, or even during the later stages of the season, depending how much free time I have, I might even have to do 2 videos a day. It's either doing that, or it's doing a massive stream. It's then streaming Unranked to Diamond, not having any music on, so I can put it on YouTube. Because, you know, I don't like having music while in the Unranked to Diamond series. And doing like a 6-hour stream just playing that account, and then just upload the 6-hour stream to YouTube and be like, there you go, there's 6 hours of Unranked to Diamond, we got Diamond this season. That might be a way to do it as well. So it's just playing more, and yeah, I think I can do it. And then the second part of the question was, any tips on getting Diamond from Platinum 2? Again, it's very hard to give generic advice not knowing your personal game. You know, you could be amazing at roaming, but you could suck at CSing. You could be a really good support player, but not very aggressive. I have no idea. You know, it's very hard to give generic advice. I just say simply play the champions that you know. Don't try anything new in ranked. Don't be the reason that your team loses. You know, don't be the rager that flips out because you're getting camped. If you're getting camped, try to make the most of it. Try to be a distraction so your team can do other things around the map. So yeah, be a good member of the community, and that will reward itself. Okay, next question is kind of like, what would I choose? And I have three options. Would I work for Riot or any big gaming company, be a pro player, or be a big famous YouTuber? So yeah, a big YouTuber being 500,000, 600,000 subs. So let's go through them without just giving a straight answer. Work for Riot. A lot of people may misinterpret my degree. I am making video games for my degree, and I'm pretty good at it, but I do not want to be a game designer. I decided that in year one of doing this degree. I would love the opportunity to work for Riot. I'm actually applying to several jobs at the moment with them. But yeah, I don't want to be a designer. I'd want to be in marketing or community specialization. I'd want to do something like that. Obviously, I'd want to be paid pretty well, but yeah, I do not want to be a game designer. So that one is only if I was in marketing or something like that. Be a pro player. I would never want to be a pro player. I might even make a league discussion on this because I touched upon it a while ago in another league discussion. But yeah, I would never want to be a pro player in a million years. And then the final one, be a big famous YouTuber. I would pick this one, but cross out the famous part. I don't care about being famous at all. I still don't really think YouTubers are famous. You know, they're e-celebrities, if anything, not normal celebrities. But yeah, I'd pick YouTube because it's something that I love doing. It's something that I'm passionate about. And yeah, if my YouTube channel is a lot bigger, then it'll be great. But it's as well as, you know, going to events, you get a different experience as a YouTuber. When I went to Comic-Con, you know, people were queuing up for 2 hours. I walked straight in with a press pass. Like, you do have a bit of a different experience as a YouTuber more than anything else. So I'd pick YouTube just because the experience that you get and doing videos for a living would be amazing. So yeah, there you go. Next one is, I'm still unranked, so you hope your question isn't too stupid. First thing, no question is too stupid. Don't worry about that. But you can't understand why no one picks Blitzcrank in a support in high ELO. Is the hook too easy to dodge, or is that because Thresh is so much better? It's not that Thresh is better. Blitzcrank is still good, but it's kind of what you said. The hook is easy to dodge. You have to imagine that lower rating means people have less reaction time generally. They don't play the game as well. So if Blitzcrank throws a hook out in Bronze, probably not many people are actively going to dodge the hook. In Diamond, people are expecting the hook and are actively going to dodge it. So Blitzcrank is a champion that you need to hit the hook in order to be useful, and the hook isn't as useful in Diamond. You know, yes, you will get that hook in Diamond, and it can basically win you the game, but the hook rarely lands in Diamond because people are very good at dodging. Next question is, I'm Platinum 5 0p and you have Gold 2/1 MMR. Also, you struggle to get Plat on your Smurf and currently Gold 4, but to be honest, you don't really try hard. That's weird. Now, do you think you can improve to get high diamond as AD carry main at the moment? And which AD carry should you learn to play for the preseason? I think you've answered your own question partially. Do you think you're good enough to be diamond? No. If you're platinum 5 with gold MMR, that means you potentially could get demoted to gold. And if you're stuck in gold 4 on your Smurf, then yeah, you're not really diamond level. The biggest thing that stood out to me is that, but to be honest, you don't really try hard. So why are you playing ranked? That's, you know, that I really dislike when people say the word try hard in ranked, because it's like, obviously I'm try harding, I'm in ranked. I think it's just a petty thing that people say when they're losing. But yeah, I'd say if you actually start to try hard, that might help. So yeah, that question's really confused me. But anyway, moving on to your other point is, what AD carry should you learn? I don't know what AD carries you can play at the moment. So that's, again, if you listed what AD carries you can play, then I could have suggested. I'd probably just say Tristana is like the strongest AD carry at the moment. So if you don't play her, I'd recommend picking her up. Next question is 3 in 1. What are my current thoughts on the Juggernauts? What is my opinion on Maud having a pet dragon? And thoughts on Kindred? So let's go through them in order. My thoughts on the Juggernauts is pretty simple. They're more effective in solo queue than they are in Worlds. Obviously, we have seen a lot of Darius play, but it's been very hit or miss. Either the Darius basically is useless and doesn't do anything, or he gets very fed. That is pretty much the same as solo queue. So I'm not a fan of the Juggernauts. It's a fairly boring style of play, you know, just farm, get tanky, and hell, do well in team fights. But yeah, to me, it's not a really fun way of playing. A lot of people say, so what is fun? To me, the assassin meta was when League of Legends was at its best. Because if you played an assassin, you had to be very mechanical and do amazing things. If you didn't play an assassin, you had to try and counter that. And it was just so exciting to watch. Next one is, what is my opinion on Maud having a pet dragon? I think it's fairly stupid that if Maud simply does damage to it and then they get the dragon, he gets it. In my opinion, which would change Maud completely, he needs to be the person to last hit the dragon in order to have the dragon. Because it's way too overpowered for pushing turrets. There's nothing you can do as the people to stop the dragon. So as it's an overpowered thing, make it really hard to get. Which at the moment is way too easy to get. And then finally, thoughts on Kindred. I played a bit of Kindred now. I did the video, first impressions. I did a little bit after that, just testing. I'm not sure if Kindred's gonna be used. I think Kindred could be one of these champions that looks really cool, but within a couple of weeks, nobody plays her. I could be wrong. Hopefully, I am. But yeah, she just doesn't really fit the current playstyle of the game. And unless the playstyle of the game changes because she's released, yeah, I don't really see her coming out. Do I think Fnatic will be first in their group stages? Yeah, I think they are doing very well. I'm proud of the Western scene, actually, in general. Both North America and Europe have been doing extremely well and better than everybody thought. So yeah, I do think they will win. Worlds is going to be on in a few minutes, actually, so I'm going to continue doing this, and hopefully by the time I finish, a game has started. But yeah, I think Fnatic will win Worlds. Their groups, and potentially they could win Worlds if they go all the way. What is my opinion on one-trick ponies? Would it be a good idea to only play Diana so you can climb the ladder? I've spoken about one-trick ponies in the past. I am not a fan of one-trick pony, the whole thing about one-trick ponies or one-trick ponies in general. Because if someone said to me, you have to play one champion for the rest of the game, I'll be honest with you guys, I would quit League of Legends. I just would. To me, that is not entertaining at all. You're becoming a robot that plays the same thing over and over again. That is boring as hell. And if you have any aspirations of potentially going pro or joining a team just to do tournaments, you will be useless if you're a one-trick pony, because you'll just get banned out and then you can't play anything. So yeah, I'm fairly against one-trick pony. But the way that I can best describe it is, do you want to be known as a good player or a good whatever champion you're picking? A good example I've always used is Box. I do not call Box a good player of League of Legends. I call him a good Riven player. You know, that's pretty much the difference. You know, do you want to be the person that is, oh, I'm amazing at, I don't know, Diana, or hey, I'm a really good Diamond player? To me, there's a big difference. So I personally wouldn't do it. I would never do it in a million years. I actually would never recommend it for people because, again, sure, your example, you can play Diana. Hell, maybe you'll get Diamond with only playing Diana because you become very good at Diana. But what happens if you get bored, or she gets nerfed, or her kit gets changed? Then you suddenly want to start playing new champions, but you're really bad at everything else because you've only played this one thing. I have seen it. I've coached a lot of one-trick ponies that are like, I've only played Master Yi to Diamond. I've realised that this was kind of a bad idea in hindsight. I now need to like start playing everything else. And I would probably say that these Diamond Master Yi players, or whatever one-trick ponies you are, they're like gold level everything else. So to me, yeah, as you can probably tell by my answer, I would not recommend it myself. I recently hit Diamond 5. You climbed from Bronze 2 at the start of the season. People say that climbing from Diamond 5 to Diamond 3 is harder than Bronze to Diamond. Is there any truth? Yeah, definitely. And again, Bronze people won't probably believe this, but as I mentioned way earlier in this video, the lower rating it is, the way easier it is to climb. The higher rating you go, the harder and harder it is to climb. And yeah, the difference between Diamond 5 and Diamond 3 is pretty big, honestly. Like, Diamond 5, I actually think is one of the worst places in the game. Honestly, yes, there are very good players in Diamond 5, but a lot of people are like, okay, I'm never going to be a master player. I'm in Diamond. I've already got the rewards of a Diamond. I'm just going to troll around. So yeah, I hated Diamond 5. But yeah, definitely it is harder to climb from Diamond 5 to 3 than it is from Bronze to Diamond. 100%. 100%. So the next question is, do I think becoming a pro at LoL would affect someone's future career, as in missing a few lives of your... Yeah, 100%. This is a main reason I would never be a professional League of Legends player, because I imagine it would be amazing to be a LoL pro. You feel like a god when you're on that stage. You know, I am the best, or one of the best people in this game. You're 20 years old. What are you going to do when you're 40 years old? That is what always goes through my head. And I'm not a pessimist. I'm actually on opposite. I'm normally an optimist. I look to the good things in life. But I'm still a realist. You know, I'm still... Okay, so an average League of Legends professional is from the ages of 18 to like 23. They don't go to university because they're playing League instead. And then once they retire, once they finish becoming a LoL pro, what are they going to do? Do they go back to university? Do they try to get a job? Their only work experience has been a professional gamer, which, let's be honest, most businesses won't take that as a proper job, which it should be, but they won't. So yeah, to me, it is a terrible thing, or a terrible idea to become a LoL pro. I'd say if you want to do it, if you are good enough, if you're a challenger and stuff like that, go for it, you know. But always have backups. Always be like, okay, maybe I should go to university before I become a LoL professional or something like that. Because, yeah, as I've said, so many people love being in the moment, and I get that, but you have to think 5-10 years down the line. You know, if you think of all the professionals that have retired from League of Legends right now, if I say to you guys, oh, I'm a Cutie Pie is doing really well, Skara is doing really well, yes, they're doing great. If I say the name Shushei to you, will any of you know who he is? He was the world Season 1 world champion for Fnatic. He was the mid laner. What's he doing now? Like, that's the type of thing. You know, you won't always be like that. There are only a few professionals that maintain an audience after retiring. So yeah, I think I might do a video about this specifically, because then I can also go into ages that, you know, a lot of people say, well, you can be a pro, go to university, then you're like 28 years old, looking forward to start your career. Companies prefer to hire younger people fresh out of uni, so like a 22, 23-year-old rather than a 28-year-old, because then they can mold them into what they want. There's a lot of this stuff. So yeah, maybe I'll do a video about it, but there you go. Next one is how to not get on tilt. Recently you've been tilting easier, so you try to stop playing League for a day or two to refresh yourself, but then after 3 days of playing you see a rager and get instantly tilted, and you have to stop playing for another day or two, and it's become obnoxious. Is it a viable solution to mute all at the beginning of the match and communicate only with pings? Yeah, that's viable. I'll firstly say that. As I've said in solo queue, too many people type in solo queue. You do not need to type to win the game. I myself, a lot of people say, why do you always mute people that may say one bad thing? I don't want to hear from them. You know, it can tilt you if you're having someone who is saying idiotic things or being a rager or being salty. I'd rather just mute it. I do not need to talk to that person to win the game. So if you are finding you are getting tilted from people typing things, feel free to mute everybody. It's your prerogative to do that. But how to stop getting tilted? Honestly, there's no solution to stop getting tilted. The people that tilt more are the people that care more, basically. They're the people that care about what rating they are. They're the people that want to climb because they're losing or whatever, they tend to tilt more when it's not happening. So maybe if you are tilting because, you know, you care a lot about the game and you want to achieve that certain rating, maybe set a lower goal that is achievable right now, not achievable in like 6 months. So if you're gold 3 and you want to get platinum, make your goal gold 2, and then make your goal gold 1, and then make it platinum. You know, break down the goals, and then you'll probably tilt a little bit less. Where am I from? Well, most of my family is from Wales, but I would probably call myself from Cambridge in England. This is where I live and go to university. I have lived here now my whole life, basically. Most of my life. And yeah, I've grown up here. So I would, if someone asks me that question, I will say Cambridge. Next one is, you're trying to make a champion pool. You will learn and master 2 champs on, I presume, each role. Do I think it's enough? You'll focus on underrated champions that won't get banned. You play your roles, and in your case, main champs were banned. So you play... Okay, firstly, I would be very careful with using the word master a champion. Very few people have actually mastered a champion. And if you think, I've got mastery level 5 on Lee Sin, that makes me a master of that champion. No. There are very few people that I would say have mastered a champion. One, again, I would mention Box. I'd say he's mastered Riven. That's the kind of level of player I'd say has mastered a champion. So yeah, be careful with throwing that around. You know, my closest of mastering a champion is Lee Sin, but still, I have not mastered Lee Sin, and I've played him in Diamond 1 and tournaments. So yeah, be careful with saying that. But do I think 2 is enough per role? Yeah, sure. 2 is enough, but you might want to have 3. The reason I say that is because generally you want to have different options available to you. Say in top lane, 3 champions, let's say a tank, an AP, an AD. To me, that is a really nice combo to have. So you have a tanky champion in top lane, an AP champion like Rumble, and then an AD carry like Yasuo. In mid lane, it will be good to have an assassin, a team fighter, and a poker. In AD carry, it's a good idea to have someone who's great in the early game, helps their team more, and late game. So Graves, Severe, Vayne. This type of thing. I like having 3 options that gives you different aspects of the game you can focus on. So that would be my answer. As for focusing underrated champions, focus underrated champions that are still strong, in my opinion. You know, there's no point playing... It's hard to come off the top of my head, but there's no point playing something that is underrated for a reason. You know, it's underrated because it's bad. Play champions that are strong and it will be a lot better. And let's be honest, the most champions that are getting banned right now are top laners that are tanks, like the Juggernaut. So I think most champions are fairly safe at the moment, so there you go. Why is my beard so goddamn perfect? It's not at the moment. I really need to shave. It's really messy at the moment. But I'd say it can be pretty good every now and then. It does have its days. Genetics probably would be the best answer. My dad, he doesn't have a beard, but his growth is very thick. And there is another question somewhere in here, but I'll answer it now so we can kind of save time. Someone did ask, would I shave my beard for charity, for a charity live stream or something? Yes, I would. It's a bit cheating with me because this would probably grow back in a week. So yeah, so I am looking to do Movember again. I did do it last year, but I didn't really announce it that much. So I think I will do Movember again, which I shave it all off and grow a mustache for the month of November. And then we can raise some money for charity, which would be great. I'm not expecting much. Hell, if we get like 100 quid, I'd be really happy. I think I donated 100 quid last year. So, yeah, I think I would shave it and everything like that. Next one is, do you think you should make more of an effort in order to get gold before the season ends? It's up to you. I don't know why you're asking me. If you're good enough to get gold, then you can get gold. Yeah, I don't know. If you want to get gold, go for it. I don't think it's going to do any help asking other people what they think about it. So, good luck. Would I make a video where I analyse worlds, teams, places, I presume matches, etc. Maybe a review on the game result. I think people will be interested in my point of view. I've been thinking about it. I knew a couple other YouTubers do it. But I do have a little bit of a different analyst point of view sometimes to a lot of these other YouTubers. And yeah, maybe. I'd have to talk to a right friend of mine about, you know, am I allowed to use the footage and all that stuff. So I'll get that information. But yeah, maybe. I think I could easily break down a game. You know, I break it down when I'm watching a game with my friends on TeamSpeak. So yeah, I think I could do it. So yeah, maybe. Next one is, how did I come up with the name Huzzy? So I have answered this before, but a lot of people are new to the channel. So simple answer, I played World of Warcraft a long time ago, you know, the Burning Crusade, and my friend, who was my best friend in school, his name was Fuzzies, F-U-Z-Z-Y-Z, and my surname begins with a H, so I took Fuzzies, put H at the beginning, then it was Huzzies, and I didn't like the Z at the end, so I got rid of the Z, so then I became Huzzy. That simple. It's been like that for, I don't know, 8 years. That has been my nickname, so yeah, Huzzy has basically been from WoW. Is there any way to improve playing ranks? There are normal games, but you don't really think that they're helping you. I've said this for a while. Normal games are there to give you the basics of the game, but they're not going to make you a diamond player by playing normals. That's where ranked comes in. You know, if you're nervous about playing ranked, I'd say just suck that up and play it. As yeah, if you want to improve in League of Legends, ranked is where you have to go. Ranked is where you play your best and everybody around you is playing their best, or should be. So yeah, I'd say just spam ranked. Always notice what mistakes you're making and try to improve on them mistakes more than anything else. Always realize that you never have to be, you don't have to be the person that's carrying every single game. Just don't be the reason why your team loses. It's completely fine to lose lane. It's one thing going 0 and 2 in lane. It's another thing going 0 and 10. Someone who is going 0 and 2 is still trying to do well. Someone who has gone 0 and 10 has just given up. Am I ever going to make in-depth guides on how to play specific champions that I feel comfortable with like Lee Sin? I have done in the past. I presume you may be new to the channel. But yeah, I have done big champion guides before, and the basic way that I kind of describe it is that, yes, I would love to do them again, but in the time that I would make, in the time taken to do, say, a Lee Sin guide, I could probably record, edit, and upload 3 unranked to diamonds. So yeah, it's kind of like, with especially how busy I am, it's kind of a big time efficiency thing. So maybe when I have a bit more free time, I will start making champion guides again. But, whenever I have free time, we'll see. How big do I suggest a player's champion pool to be? I touched on this previously, but I'd say around 3 champions per role. And I do say per role. That includes all 5 roles. To me, if you're a good solo queue player, you are willing to play every single role. It is completely fine to have your main roles. Say you main mid lane. That's fine, that's great. But if you are somebody that is, I'm only mid lane, in my opinion, you should get banned. Like, you're playing solo queue. You are signing up to potentially play every role in the game, so make sure you're prepared for that. There is the upcoming new change to ranked, which I really dislike, but it's like the team builder ranked, which then, yeah, if you only play mid and top, then you can only select mid and top, and there you go. That's the mode for you. But at the moment, be prepared to play every single role. In my opinion, what is the fastest way to climb ELO? Maining one chat, practicing CS. Just honestly, and this can sound really generic, just being good at the game and being open to different things. I hate One Trick Pony, so I wouldn't recommend that. Practicing CSing, well, that's one aspect of the game. There are several others. I just say be open to your own mistakes and improve on your mistakes. And if you do that, then you should go up. I will say that some people have to kind of come to the realization that maybe they're in the rating they deserve, and that is going to be it. If you've been playing the game for a couple of years, you've played thousands of games or hundreds of games, and you're still in gold, maybe you just deserve gold. And that's fine. That's okay. So, yeah. Next one is, what was the first video game I've ever played? I have no idea. I'm 21 years old. I think I probably played video games when I was like 3 or 4. No idea. From memory of games I can remember, like the Crash Bandicoots, Spyro, but like they're saying that they're quite old. They're quite recent. That probably would have been in like 98 or something. Maybe a Pokemon game or some type of Nintendo, like a Game Boy game. I'm not sure. Like it's too long ago for me to remember. Yeah, it would have been either PlayStation 1 or Game Boy, I think. One of them consoles. So, yeah. Hi, Huz. What was my inspirations growing up as a child for my career path, and what led you to do YouTube? Well, honestly, I haven't really chosen a career path yet. I still have a lot of options available to me, and I'm very lucky in that, a lot of people are like, they panic of, I don't know what to do. I have a lot to do, potentially. I could go in several different areas and do pretty well. But inspirations, my dad is a pretty big one. He's a guy that kind of was very good at golf, and then he became professional at golf, and then he became a professional tour coach. And then he's gone into different aspects of life and done very well there. So yeah, my dad is an inspiration. He's kind of like an Alan Sugar or Richard Branson, that they start from nothing and they make their way up, something like that. Them too as well, just to mention, they are big inspirations of mine. My dad has met Alan Sugar quite a bit, and he doesn't like him. Like my dad doesn't like Alan Sugar, but that's another story to tell. But yeah, I don't know. Business people inspire me. People that have started from nothing and made something of themselves. Or sports people that, again, they have put so much work into achieving the goals and rewards that they have deserved. So yeah, they are my inspirations. And what led me to do YouTube? Boredom led me to do YouTube. I was on a gap year before university. In Britain, we can choose to just have a year off before we start university. And I was bored out of my brain, and I thought, hell, I'm pretty good at this LOL game. I'm going to make a YouTube channel. And then it became bigger than I actually expected. I was literally just doing it to make videos to stop being bored. And then people actually started to watch them. So yeah, that's the reason why I started YouTube. Okay, so we have another question, and this is one that I get asked all the time, and it's honestly one that actually annoys me. So let's go through it. Okay, what can I do to climb? You always tend to do well or carry, but your team still loses. Either to us having an AFK or someone feeding. Is there anything you can do? First thing, stop blaming your team. Blaming teammates will not get you anywhere in League of Legends. And just as a general rule in life, blaming other people for your own situation doesn't get you anywhere either. Suck it up. Realize that every single diamond player, every single master player, challenger player has the exact same situation as you. Every single player in League of Legends has the exact same problems as you. We all have to deal with bad teammates, but I got diamond because I'm good enough to carry. I didn't get diamond by moaning at teammates or blaming my teammates. That's just idiotic. So the first thing is, do not blame teammates for your rating. You deserve the rating you are currently in. Second thing, and this is why I say, you know, I do private lessons with people and I'm fairly harsh, but I'd rather be harsh than really cuddly soft. I'd probably say, be more critical about yourself than boastful. You say that you always carry and do well. Well, if that was actually true, you'd probably be higher than you currently are. So be critical about yourself. Look at your mistakes. Be overly critical, being, okay, I do this bad, or I do this okay, but that could be better. Always look to improve and never become lazy. And, you know, you could apply this to life in general. But yeah, the whole thing around blaming teammates, honestly, is the most stupid thing in League of Legends alongside ELO Hell. Next one is, hey Huz, what was my experience like in secondary school? Did I have a good time or not? You just left and realised you missed it, so you just joined back for college and wanted to know what I thought of it. Secondary school was one of the best times of my life. I have spoke about this before, but I started to put on weight when I left secondary school, when I started to do something called sixth form college. Secondary school, again, yeah, was the best part of my life. I was one of the most popular people in my year. I was a sports leader. All the teachers tended to like me. Everybody knew who I was. I had the nickname Tank because I was short, wide, and could run through anything in rugby. It was so good. I loved secondary school, and I would call that school was like my school. I miss it even to this day. I love university, it's great, but yeah, secondary school was really good for me. Yeah, really good. So yeah, mine was good. And I'm completely there with you that, you know, you miss it and everything. Obviously, for me, it's a bit different. I couldn't go back to that secondary school. I had to continue moving forward to sixth form and then university. So you've got to, in life, there are things that you're going to enjoy and they go and you just have to get over it. You can miss them. You think they were good times, but you have to look to the future and make good times in the future. You know, make sure, like for me, a couple of years ago when I was kind of depressed, I always thought, okay, I'll say my school's name. My school's name was Combaton. It was Combaton Village College. It was one of the best schools in the country. And I was like, my peak of my life right now has gone. Like, that's the way I felt. I was like, Combaton was so good. I was popular. I had all these friends. I had an amazing best friend, like a couple best friends. Oh, my life has gone. I snapped out of that and realised, hell, that's not the truth. Yes, Combaton was amazing, but I'm going to look to the future and, yeah, just have an amazing life. And, yeah, here I am today. What was my first skin in League of Legends? That would be the Pirate Fiddlestick skin. Is that Fiddle Me Timbers? But yeah, that skin. That skin is the reason that I have spent like £4,000 on League of Legends. It all started with that skin. That I bought that skin. I loved having a skin, so I just kept buying stuff. I should never have bought that skin. Favourite pickup line? Do you have a map? Because I'm lost in your eyes. Boom, there you go. If you use that and you get a girlfriend or a boyfriend, I guess, just say thank you. That's no problem. That's on the house. Okay, I'll give you another one. Are you Jamaican? Because you're Jamaican me crazy. Whoa, I'm really good at this. Do I rate Pantheon support? Can I please play this in unranked to diamond? No, Pantheon is not a support at all. He's an item-intensive champion that if you have no gold, you're not going to be useful at all. Don't play Pantheon support, please. Do I watch any TV series like Game of Thrones and Walking Dead? Yeah, I'm a massive movie person, TV series person. But just to name a few TV series, yeah, Game of Thrones, massive into that. I've watched that through like 4 times the whole way through. But Game of Thrones, Suits, The Flash, Arrow, I guess. Ray Donovan is amazing. Well, I guess then Orange is the New Black. Like some of the Netflix stuff is good. House of Cards. I watch like most of the popular stuff. Apart from Walking Dead, I've actually never watched it. I've never really been interested in it. But there you go. What would I do with $1 million? Just save it, honestly. I'm fairly fortunate in the way that, you know, I can buy anything I want really at the moment. So $1 million wouldn't make a massive difference to me at the moment. So me personally, I just put it in a bank account for it to like gain interest. Yeah, maybe I would use it for an apartment or something like that, but I wouldn't go crazy. You know, to a lot of people, you know, $1 million sounds like a lot. It's honestly not that much in like current day. You could easily spend $1 million in like a day. Like you really could. You hear about these footballers that have, they go to a bar in London, they walk out the bar and they've spent like 100 grand in the bar. Like they buy £10,000 bottles of champagne. It's very easy to spend a lot of money nowadays. But yeah, I wouldn't go crazy. I just put it in a bank account and gain interest. So we have been going now for about an hour. I've been recording for 1 hour and 2 minutes. That I didn't expect this, and I've still got a crazy amount of questions left to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this part 1, and we're going to do part 2 for October in a couple of weeks. But to finish this video, just to be fair on the people that did ask questions on Ask.fm, I'm going to answer a couple of questions on Ask.fm, and that will wrap up part 1. This has been a really big month. Wow. So yeah, thanks for asking questions, but let's quickly jump over to Ask.fm. Okay, first question on Ask.fm is, what are my thoughts on Quinn Top? I hate Quinn. She's a champion without a role to me. She's not an AD carry. She's not a top laner. I just say she needs a rework, honestly. She's one of these champions that if I was in Riot's balancing team, I wouldn't focus on old champions. I wouldn't focus on really like... Obviously, I'd balance overpowered champions and stuff, but I would rework champions that just do not have a role, that are not played at all because they just don't have a role. Like I said, she's not an AD carry, she's not a top laner, so give her a role. Change her kit to make her one of these things. So yeah, I do not rate her at all at the moment. Next one is, what are some goals you have for yourself for the next year? YouTube, work, uni, etc. I am somebody that does set myself a lot of goals. Some of them are a bit up there, but I think it's good to set yourself ambitious goals. For me personally, like I thrive when I have pressure and want to achieve that goal. But for YouTube, it's 50,000 subscribers. That's the only goal I really have in mind at the moment. And hopefully we can make that by the end of this year. You know, that would be amazing. We're nearly at 44,000, I think. So yeah, we'll see. If we don't get it, we don't get it. But it'll be really cool if we do. So 50,000 subscribers. Work, it's like, do I continue doing YouTube when I finish my degree, or do I actually go look for a job? You know, getting a job that I enjoy. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not really thinking that far ahead. As I said earlier, I've got some options available to me, so I'll just go with whatever I think is the best option. University, it's to maintain a first. I'm currently on a first. It's the highest grade you possibly can be on in Britain. And yeah, maintain that. It's final year. It's the hardest year of university. But I think I can do it, you know. As I said in previous videos, if it does mean that some weeks that there is hardly any videos, then that's the way it's going to be. You know, university is the most important thing in my life right now. So, yeah. And then one thing, I need to add this in, as I want video evidence of this, because I always find if I say it on video, then I kind of make myself obliged to do it. And a lot of people go, "Aw, it's to find somebody I can be with as like a girlfriend." I haven't had a girlfriend in ages, and I think I've decided like I probably want one now after a couple of years. Or maybe not even a couple of years. Well, it's like a serious one I haven't had in a couple of years. So yeah, I think I need to get on that. You know, I'm 21. Obviously, you know, my hair's a mess right now, so this isn't the best advert. But yeah, that's also going to be a thing, I think, this year. But yeah. Final question for today. So I will say, if you have any questions for part 2, as I probably will need more, feel free to put them in the comment section below or go on ask.fm and then yeah, I'll answer them. So with the final question, at which tier/division would I say low ELO ends? This is a personal question. Your definition of low ELO and high ELO will be different to mine, and that is one thing to say. People have complained about it in the Unranked to Diamond series. Like, they say, why are you calling Platinum low rating or low ELO? To me, Platinum is low rating. You know, it depends who you are. A Bronze player is going to think Gold is high rating. To me, Gold is still really low. To me, low rating finishes probably around Diamond 3. Diamond 3 is where the game starts to pick up quite a lot. That's where people kind of know what they're doing, know how to react to different things a lot more than previously. So yeah, that's where I'll say, like, and then, so low ELO is like Diamond 3 and under. High rating is like Diamond 2, Diamond 1 above. So yeah, hopefully that was that. So thank you very much for watching, guys, or listening. This was a very long one, so I'm going to put a keyword at the end of this video. If you made the whole way through, which I doubt any of you really did, but if you made the whole way through, tell me your goals for this upcoming year. Actually, that won't be. We won't do a keyword, but just tell me, what do you want? Are you in university yourself? Are you in high school? Are you working? Do you want to get a promotion? Just tell me what you guys are looking forward to, and then I will know that you made it the whole way to the end of the video. And yeah, I'll give you a pat on the back if you did. So again, thanks very much for watching or listening. Like the video if you like it, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.